It was a good start Saturday, certainly, and just a couple points of interest. First of all, I thought the fan turnout was great, and we're very appreciative of that. It was a holiday weekend. Certainly, Maine didn't travel a lot of folks, and I think with all the challenges our fans have been through this past year, it was very much appreciated. Also, it was great having the 58 team here. 50 years since they played, and what a great group that was. It was neat to have them at practice on Friday, and Randy Duncan did a great job addressing the team. So that was a real honor for us to be with them on Friday and have them at the game on Saturday. I think it was a good start overall. We certainly have a lot to work on right now, and that's what this week will be important for. On the injury front, the medical meeting went pretty quickly. Hopefully today will go as smoothly as the medical meeting was. But I think really right now the guys in doubt are probably Mike Saber. Still looks like he's a ways away. Tony Moecki, Trey Strauss, and Dan Dorian. We'll see. He's got an appointment today, so we'll see how that goes. But I think those four guys right now are in limbo. I think outside of that we've got a chance to get everybody else back. And then our captains for this week defensively will be Matt Kroll, Mitch King. Offense will be Rob Bruggeman again, and then special teams will be represented by Jamie Murphy. And then just a couple words about Florida International. It's really the second year of their program. It's a relatively new program overall, and Coach Cristobal's been there. This is only his second year, and I think what we've seen, based on one game, based on film from last year, and then what we saw in their opener, they look like a more mature team, a more developed team. They played hard and played with good effort last year, and I think they're just a better team physically now than they were. And staff-wise, defensively they haven't changed much. Pretty much matching with what you saw last year, what you'd expect. And then offensively, they've got a little bit of a Purdue flavor with Coach Legg being there. He had been at Purdue the last several years, and I think you can see that influence with him taking over the offense down there. So, our task right now is to get ready during the week. I don't think we have a great week of practice last week. I think that showed up a little bit. Overall our operation was good Saturday, but a lot of things that we need to get better at, and I think that's probably the biggest focus for us right now, is see if we can't have a better week during the week this week. So we play a little sharper on Saturday, but it'll be good to be back in Kenneck, and we'll go from there. Like blocking and tackling would be a good start. And I say that, I mean, blocking at every position, not just the lineman. You always think of the lineman, but just technique-wise. I mean, we got the job done for the most part, not always, but for the most part. But a lot of things that we need to get sharper at and better at as we get going here. And we missed a lot of tackles defensively, which you hope you don't do that, but we did, and it's early in the year. I understand that, but we're going to have to get a little bit better in that area too. And I think for the most part, again, we operate okay, but our overall sharpness has to improve if we're going to move along here. Well, it's not uncommon for the number 2 quarterback to be a fan favorite any time, and I didn't notice to answer the question, but that one's almost 100%. I don't know if it's a total 100%. So there are a couple of things that are predictable in life, and that's one of them.
Do you expect to change that quarterback rotation?
It's I think fair to say that that's probably something we'll do, and depends how the week of practice goes, but it's probably fair to say we would expect that.
Is this something you want? Do you want this? Will you be doing the same against Iowa State?
I don't know. I mean, right now we're just worried about this one. We'll take next week, but we'll see how this week turns out and go from there.
What would one of those guys have to do? You mentioned on Saturday you're waiting for one of them to just kind of grab onto that starting job and not let go. What would one of them have to show you to make you think that they've done that?
We'll just see how it pans out. I mean, the good news is right now both of them are doing a good job, and make that point especially clear with Jake. I think he's a better player than he was a year ago, which you would hope, and I hope that's true of all of our guys that were with us last year. And the major difference is, Rick's a factor now, whereas a year ago he really wasn't. And I don't mean that in a derogatory sense, but he just wasn't. He really wasn't in the mix, and he's come on. So we've gone from having one quarterback to I think now two, and clearly both guys are better than they were a year ago. That's a good thing.
Is everybody making too big a deal about this?
I think so, yeah. But I understand. I understand. It's but we have a couple positions like that. Middle linebackers a little bit like that. The will position could be like that with Tarp.
Nobody's talking about that.
Yeah, I know. It's more interesting. Quarterbacks are more interesting, but Tarpinian back is be curious to see what he does this week, and if that ramps up a little bit, and we still have some things going on in the secondary. So, but the good news is I think overall, we have competition, and we've had situations times where we haven't had that. One guy's kind of been there, and nobody else has been involved at all.
Has Jake and Ricky's attitude been what you hope as far as?
Yeah, I think they both. I say they're playing better. I think both of them are playing better, and part of that's attitude. That's a big part of performance. So, I think they both have been doing a good job. They're up and running, and as I said, I think I said a week ago, perimeter guys, we could see them getting involved in the back ends one, the offensive backfield, and then DeMarco Payne also played a little bit at receiver. So those are areas that we thought might have some open spots. And the good news is all those guys in the secondary have done a good job so far. It's really early, but our plan is to get them going on special teams. With defensive backs, we'll have a chance if we play some substitution defense, which is kind of all hinges on their performance. If we feel like they're ready to do it, then that'll open up the door for us maybe to play some of those nickel and dime defenses everybody's been clamoring for. But we got to have guys that we trust out there in the field too before we do it. So, but I think the potential's there, and that's encouraging. It's we like what we've seen so far in 4 weeks. And I'm sorry, just injuries have opened the door a little bit there too. We didn't have Bernstein or Gardner dressed last week, so. But that being said, we're going to keep these guys. Keep me on. We've jumped made the leap with them, so we're going to keep going. I'm sorry. Yeah. Yeah, he's coming along well, and based on Sunday, I'm the doctor, but I didn't seem like he had the confidence yet to I couldn't envision him having a great week of practice and then going. So hopefully he'll be in gear today. He'll work today. At a smart rate and a smart volume, and then we'll see where he's at tomorrow. And we'll see where he's at the end of the week. Maybe give him another workout Friday, Saturday, something like that, and then hopefully he'll be ready to go Sunday. But if he can't go this week, then even if he would be perfectly healthy Thursday, he really hadn't had much work, so it's probably not fair to put him out there on the field. That wouldn't be fair to him. That means we get a good player back. He's proven himself to be a good player. He looked excellent in camp prior to his injury, and just it's always good to get a guy who's experienced and Tony's talent. And he's got a great attitude. Anytime you get a good player like that back, it'd be a good thing. They're both they worked on Sunday, looked to be ready to go. So they got some work last week, but again, you hate to put a guy on a game field on Saturday when he hasn't. He's missed a lot of time. Both those guys are in that category, as was Tarpinian. So they got a good workout in Friday. They worked on Sunday, and hopefully they'll get a good week this week. If they are, then we'll be able to play those guys.
Is there any time frame for Trey?
Yeah, it's just a matter of same thing as everybody else. When a player can get out there and actually practice for a week, at least a week, then you have a chance to maybe play him in the game. Depending on where he was at, how much time he's missed, that type of thing. So you need demonstrated performance on the practice field, I think, in most cases. And there's been exceptions to the rule. I mean, Bob Sanders in his 4th year. We might hold him off the field all week and then just out of fairness to everybody else and then put him out there Saturday. But that's rare. Usually that catches up to a player also if you do that. So, but especially with an injury like this, I think we got to make sure he's confident in it before he goes back out there.